Hello, my name is Alec Lours, and I'm the youth correspondent for A Matter of Degree. We're here in Copenhagen, Denmark for the UN Climate Change Conference 2009. I'm here with over 1,000 young people from all over the world who are gathering in Copenhagen to demand a fair, ambitious, and binding treaty be created at the agreement. We're going to hear some exciting stories from youth in Lebanon, Australia, Madagascar, and Bolivia. All of that and more when we come back.
Priska, you are from Madagascar.
Yes.
How did you get involved with the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts?
Okay, Madagascar is a very beautiful island. We used to know that pharmacy of the world. I don't know if you have heard about that, but people used to call our island pharmacy of the world because most of the medicines are produced by the extracts taken from Madagascar. We have endemic species there and we have very wonderful natural parks and reserves. But now we have several negative impacts of climate change, and it's really felt in Madagascar. We have sea level rise in the coast, but in the south we also have droughts which last long and long. And we also have heavy floods sometimes which damage the crops. And deforestations and bushfires are really destructing the forests in our country. So the reason why I am involved in the Girl Scouts in Madagascar is that it's in our value to do. It's our tradition to be in contact with the nature, and we've been working for 100 years now in changing lives, and we've been doing natural parks visits lots of times so that we can connect with the nature and appreciate it. And now it's destroying. So how can I feel just relaxed and staying at home and eating well and feeling well, whereas I know that people living in the same island than me are struggling for survival because of climate change? I cannot just stay at home like that. So I knew that I'm part of the solution. I can make the difference with the 10 million members all over the world, so we have to react. That's it.
And what about you, Mirna? What prompted you to get involved in Bolivia, and where exactly do you live in Bolivia?
I live in La Paz, Bolivia, but I am from Oruro. It's the fourth capital of my country. And I am with the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts since I was 6. So, yeah. So,
and was your mother a member? How did you get involved?
Well, in my country, the Girl Guides go from school to school, calling the girls to follow them. So in my school, I have heard about Girl Guides. I went to a meeting. I liked it a lot, and I fell in love with the movement, and I am still in love with the movement.
Yes. And what projects are the Girl Guides, Girl Scouts doing in Bolivia right now that relate to climate change issues?
Well, as a fact, we are doing a lot of projects. I am in charge of that projects. I am in charge of the environmental components of the non-formal education. So we are basically teaching the girls what is climate change and how it affects them and all the people, because it is like a scientific issue and we want it to be easier, understandable for the girls. When they understand it, they spread information how they can, how they want to. A beautiful way to spread information was a project that was called I Give You a Flower If You Give Me a Smile. So our little girls were through the streets giving flowers to the people and saying, I give you a flower if you smile me. And people smiled and gave you a flower with a message that they felt about climate change. Maybe it could sound silly, but as a fact it is not silly, because climate change is an issue that it is not about politics, it is not about economy, it is about people and the people's emotions. So we work with the emotions of our girls and make them feel all the people in their homes and in their schools and their environment, so they can change their minds. And also we are trying to face the climate change because in South America it is very felt. The people in South America are dying because of floods and droughts, as in all the world.
And Bolivia has lost some glaciers.
Yeah.
It's very visible.
Yeah,
Very visible.
we have lost one glacier, and we are going to lose more because they are tropical glaciers and they are melting. We have been doing excursions to go to the glaciers and to make feel the girls that the snow is not something just to enjoy, but to appreciate. Our resources of water are from glaciers, and if they melt, our people won't have these resources. And our economy is based on agriculture, so if we have these problems, all of our poor people will be more poor and will die.
And so the girls, you're teaching these connections, these linkages to the girls.
And not just teaching, they are working. And it's important to say that we are connected. As an example, Bolivian Girl Guides are working with Peruvian Girl Guides to help them because they are working in a project to help all the Peruvian families that have been affected by floods. So we collect clothes and send the clothes to them. So it is really important that we are connected. So if we have a flood or something like that, we can call them or Brazilian Girl Guides to help us.
So South America is pretty connected.
Yeah.
Yes. And what about Madagascar? What are you connected with Girl Guides in surrounding countries? Do you work across national boundaries on some of these issues, because the environment doesn't know our lines that we draw on the map? It doesn't care. So do you work with?
Sure. This year, I and my troop went into the countryside, to some countrysides, to make an inquiry on the population's knowledge about climate change. And we were sad to discover that at the end of the mission of evaluation, that more than 50% of the people doesn't know about climate change. They are living it, they are experiencing it, but they don't know what is happening. They think that it is their fate. They think that God punishes them for their sins, and they have done, the old man, the chief villager, say that they have done sacrifices to take the curse away, but God won't listen. So we were very sad to know that we Girl Scouts have the information. We have acquired some skills and trainings in order to spread the information. So we decided to set up a campaign named CO2 No Campaign. CO2 No Campaign. And there are different programs we are doing inside the campaign. We are doing non-formal education with public schools and in villages. Most of our pilot sites are in rural areas, because we know that in the capital people know about it, but they just don't care. So we decided to work in rural areas in order to teach them what is happening, and also in order to inform them what they can do in order to face it. For example, we are teaching how to use solar cooking, how to use solar oven, and we are also doing community actions such as global cleanups. But as you said, in the national level, we have 22 regions in Madagascar, and we have more than 15,000 Girl Scouts all over the island. So we have national gathering twice a year in order to share knowledge and skills that we have acquired. For example, me back in Madagascar, I will have to share what I got here at COP15. And that's it, and then we spread all over the island. It's quite big. We have 20 million populations now, so we have great works.